Flosstube, it's Lynn, the Canadian Stitcher. One of my sons said that I need a microphone. So if you're having trouble hearing me, please let me know so I can get a little wireless microphone or something to make my easier for you to hear. If anybody's having trouble with me, let me know. Welcome to all of my new subscribers. I surpassed my goal last week of 250. I think I'm up close around 300. So last week's video got quite a reaction. I expected a few people would go, oh, that's a lot of stuff, but I got a lot of comments about that. And for anybody who's returning, thank you for coming back again. I will be doing a 250 subscriber giveaway and then another one at 500. So they might, the way things are going, they might be very close together. So I'll talk about that. I'm going to be doing my newest FFOs, some DIY framing that I did for myself. I did take 3 of my big pictures, the country, pantry, the early spring full coverage, the birds, and that Thomas Kincaid Stillwater Bridge. All of those are currently at the framers and I expect to get them back this week or next week. I'll show you them whenever I get them. I'm probably going to show you all of my FOs and FFOs as I go along instead of waiting and doing it all as one big video. So I have a prize for the giveaway. I think you're going to like it. Sorry, I gotta look at my notes. World map. I'm sorry, I missed 2 people last week. So I'll show you my map and then I'll give you the list of names. Sorry, there's sunlight. I apologize for the sunlight. That's wonderful that there's sunlight reflecting off of the map. So lots more in the States and in Canada, a few more, and some very far away countries. So I'm pretty impressed. So for last week, the 2 that I missed is Crafton Bev in Boise, Idaho, and Kay Lowry in Hope, Ontario, Canada. For this week, my flags went in for Lynn R. in Indiana, USA, Jenny R. in Kitchener, Ontario, Canada, Fiddle Jenny Stitches in Philadelphia, Nina Hobby Site in the Netherlands, Anne C. is in Malaysia, and she said Cushing, I don't know, of course I don't know how to pronounce that, and she said it is a town meaning cats in her language, and she's in the Sarawak, which is a state on Borneo Island. I had to look it up, but I did find it, so that's really interesting. Linda D. in Vilnius, Lithuania. I think I might have mentioned her last week. Jean T. in southern Maine. Patty Miller in Nanaimo, which is on Vancouver Island, BC, Canada. Misty E. in Texas, United States. Mrs. Hercules in Hinesville, Georgia. Terry H. in Lansing, Michigan. Betty H. in Germany. Sonia Kirby, sorry, I was just going to say your last initial, sorry for that. Martinsburg, West Virginia. Carla G. in Portugal near Lisbon. And Stitching is My Happy Place, Marie in Hobart, Tasmania, Australia. And I actually found that one without having to Google it. I'm so impressed. I did know somebody who was planning on moving to Tasmania at one time, but he never did. Okay, so I have been watching, this week, I've been watching Bendy Stitchy, Michelle Garrett. And she's so good. Her videos are about an hour long. So I watched all day yesterday. And I get so overwhelmed. There's so much. And so I got my nails done. So yesterday, so I was saying like, I'll never ever get caught up on everybody. How would you ever get caught up on everybody? So I think if people are posting 1 video a week and I watch 2 of theirs a week, eventually I'll catch up to where they are. And what I want to be able to do is just go on a Saturday morning when I sit down to do my stitching. Saturdays are pretty much my dedicated stitching day. Just go into my subscriptions and just watch the most current video from that person. So I think I'm completely caught up on 5 or 6 people. So I think that's pretty good because I think I've got 100 that I'm subscribed to. So I did have a teeny tiny little haul. I went back to my frame shop to drop off that Thomas Kincaid Stillwater Bridge, and I had bought a frame for it at Michael's and took it into the framers to get them to do it just to save a bit of expense. So I did pick up the Mirabilia. This is Spring Topiary, and this is what is going to be in the giveaway. I'm working on my first Nora Corbett right now. It's the Siren and the Shipwreck mermaid. But this is pretty. It's just not really my kind of style. I don't know. I like symmetry and I like gauge. So these tall butterfly girls here, they're very pretty. It's a pretty little garden. Yeah. So I got this because I wanted to have a giveaway prize. Well, this is the real prize, but there'll be other little goodies in the box too. Christmas ornament of the week that I'm still doing. So from this Busilla kit, and they're showing 2 of each one. I did do the little kitty cat with the Santa hat. Yeah. So I haven't did the foil backings on these yet. Like I said, I'm probably just going to do all the finishing. I don't want Lucy to jump up here. I'll probably do all the finishing in November and December. Ah, he did. Okay, you're going to have to get down. Sorry, cat interruptions again. Cat-options. Okay, you have to go down, down, down. I have all the baby stuff piled up here. I'm probably not going to show it all now that I, pulled out everything and got everything stacked up. It's quite a lot. So, weekly progress. I was working on Flight of the Lynx. It's a Heaven and Earth by Michelle Sayata, artwork by Josephine Wall. And I started in the bottom left corner like I always do, and I'm just kind of doing these trees in here. Remember to show you the actual thing. So I have it in that big bin. And I went actually back to a Q-snap for this. I'm just not able to tuck in the top part of the fabric, but I much prefer working on a Q-snap than a hoop. So I'm glad that I got to go back to the Q-snap because I can fully do 2 pages. And I'm kind of, feathering over there. So this is the bottom, just where that dark tree is there. My goal for this one this year is to go all the way across the bottom of that one. So that's a pretty good amount of progress for 1 week. And my board has become a thing now, I guess. Last week, I think I added 1 needle minder, and I had picked up some little buttons at Michael's that were kind of steampunk. Sorry. So I just made them into little needle minders. So put a couple of those. So what I'm doing is I'm adding more and more things to my board as kind of almost as if I'm decorating, doing a board decor. So this I made, it's just a feather, a little brooch or whatever on it as a needle minder. I did make one of those little skeleton keys, just out of cardboard. And then I stuck some little turtles on here because they were in my fridge, but they're kind of cute. And yeah, Lucy, likes a little bit of attention. So I actually had to clip down my floss that I'm using and put it onto one of these little magnetic clips because he comes up to my board now and he starts trying to sneak stuff off of it to get attention, and he was trying to steal my thread. I knew he would, but I thought it would be secure enough just putting it with a magnet, but he just pushes the magnet out of the way, and yeah. Okay, so I did also bobbinate that bag of floss that I had bought. I'm almost finished, excuse me, bobbinating that. And for this week, I'm planning on working on, in my rotation, I'm at the spot where it goes from extra large, so the Haid, and now to a large piece. So it's full coverage, but it's not as big as a Haid. So the one I'm going to be working on this week is going to be the Winter Enchantress. This is a Dimensions Gold Collection kit, artwork by Ruth Sanderson. I started on her first day of winter, and I believe I worked on for a week, so that's the progress that I had made there. That's where I'll be starting at for this week. And I will do another Christmas ornament. So plans for next week is I'll be doing the draw for the 250 subscriber giveaway. So I'm only leaving it open until next Saturday at midnight, Mountain Standard Time. And that will be January, I have to look at calendar, sorry. That will be January 26th. That's the Saturday at midnight, my time, Mountain Standard. Yeah, so I'll talk a bit more about that after. So, and next week I might do a kit parade, because I had told you that I have, a lot of kits. Got quite a few of them already in my rotation. I have some more of them picked out for starts for 2019. But I still have quite a few. So with that, I'm starting to run out of topics for the weekly updates. I thought about going into every 2 weeks, but I'm trying to build the channel and I've had such a good response from people, so I want to keep it up. So maybe I'll do a kit parade. I'm not sure. I'll think of something. And then I might be putting up an extra video this week because one of my subscribers, who you probably all know and love, challenged me or asked me if I would do something. And then between our communications, it ends up that it's going to be a challenge. And I'm waiting for Fabric to come in. And then we will both be posting videos about this challenge and what it is, and for anybody who wants to join in. But I can't say anything more than that right now. It's a secret. So if I do put up an extra video, that might be during the week. Depends on, it's still dark in the evenings when I'm driving home, so the lighting's not going to be good, but I can try. So I'm going to do the FFOs, and these were the ones I had showed in the FO, one of my earlier videos that just weren't completed yet. I just showed them unframed. So I did pick up some really inexpensive little frames, and this is not a good framing job. I just did this myself. I know that they're not perfect, and I'm okay with imperfection, because being a perfectionist, you don't get a whole lot done. So they were washed and they were ironed, and I just put them in some little frames myself. As I get more things on my walls, I mean, these might come down, they might be made into smalls or something like that. It's for now. It's just for now, as I'm getting more things done. So these two I had showed, these were called Powder Room Pear. I think this was a Janlin kit. Anyway, I just put these are almost like little shadow box frames, but I just put them in these brown frames because I thought that matched the brown in the pictures really good. And these are just going to go in the main bath. There's a little spot on the wall there, and eventually I'm planning on having some Haid mermaids in my main bath, and then the Mirabilia mermaids in my own personal bathroom. So this little kitten, I thought this one turned out pretty good. And it came with the matting, and then I like this color of the frame. So this kind of matches sort of what my fireplace, the metal around my fireplace kind of looks like this. So I think I'm going to put this one in the living room. This was the little Thomas Kincaid winter scene that I had started and finished in one day. It was an oval picture, but doing this on the cheap, so I didn't find an oval mat, and I don't know how to cut mat board, so I just framed it like this. I think it turned out pretty good. It's just going to go up in my living room now until spring, or I'm not sure. These two are the pansies. So this one is Find the Beauty in Each New Day with the butterfly. This one, maybe. This one, I don't know. It's a nice stitch. It's a nice picture, and I'm just wondering if I would want to reframe this at a later time. I can always do that, but these ones are going to go into my bathroom for now, because I have a little picture with some violas on it. So, violas, sorry, the flower, not the instrument. So these kind of match with the pansies, and I have some pansy border around that bathroom. And this is the other one. I think this was a Janlin kit also. These two I had done, probably 5 years ago, and I never got them framed. Sorry, I'm going to put this stuff down. So it's good. Like, these have been sitting in my craft room literally for years, not framed. So even just to do a simple little frame and get them up on the wall, I worked on them. So why am I just storing them and not displaying them? So sorry for that. I reached down there. So for the FFO's Baby Edition, there's a lot of stuff. I did find I do have 2 UFOs, so uncompleted objects. So this was a baby bib. These are these little pullover baby bibs. I stitched in the clowns, and then I never did put the baby's name in and finish that one. And then this one, this one has a framed actual picture with it. I'll show you. And this one I had started on, I believe when I was pregnant with my second child, and I got that much done. Hey, I just don't want him jumping up here and knocking stuff over. There's some things there with glass. So this was something special. Bears and balloons. So I did the picture and I have it framed, I'll show you. And then I started on the Afghan and I never finished it. I'm not sure if I ever will. I don't know. I have some decisions I need to make about some of my stuff. So. Okay, so I'll just show you the picture that went with that one. So this was the bears and balloons. Oh, sorry, glare from there too. I'm not sure. I was gonna, when I do my craft room in the spring, I'm gonna do a spring cleanup and decluttering. And I wanna hang these up in my craft room. And then I wanna decide whether I wanna repurpose these. These are the metal frames because it was less expensive to frame with metal frames. I'm not sure if I'll hang these up or whether I'm gonna repurpose these frames. I think it'd be kind of cute to have these hanging up. I have 2 adult sons. One is 24 and the other one is 20. So these are, yeah, 25 years ago that I worked on these. Excuse me. So I did make them some little samplers with their names on, and I am going to cover up their names and birthdays for their privacy. So this little one was a nursery picture. I don't know where I'm going to put everything. This was another one that hung in a baby room. Welcome baby. I had made a matching set of these 2. This is what came off of here. These have been stored downstairs. They weren't wrapped in tissue or anything, so they are getting a little bit yellow. Like I said, these are like 20, 25 years old. So this was just finished with this bit of lace around it in my ribbons all. Just a hoop. And I had bought this one as a kit, so it has the name and birth date and then the weight. And same, whoopsie, did not want to show his name. I'm sure he would not be happy with me putting his name out there. Sorry, and it did another one for the other one too. So those hung in their rooms. And they hung for a little while after once, you know, they were certainly there when they were babies, and then I left them up and kind of let them decide when it was time to take down the baby stuff. So probably around, you know, like 4 or 5 years old, they were like, can you take these pictures away now? And so then I just had stored stuff in the basement. This was that was definitely a Janlin kit with that little marmot. And then babies are such sweet beginnings. Yeah. I think I told you, when I was pregnant, with the first one I couldn't work. I think I worked about 4 or 5 months, and then I was taken off work for health reasons. So I had a lot of time to stitch, and I was actually on bed rest, so couch rest, or admitted to the hospital on bed rest. So I had a lot of time for stitching, and I was a monogamous stitcher. I would stitch one thing until it was completely done, and then pick up the next project. And some of these, when I was going through them, I actually remember where I was when I was stitching them and what I was thinking of and that kind of thing. So kind of down memory lane. So this was a little set that I had done. This goes back, Keepsake Calendar 1992 Cross Stitch Collection by Craftways. I don't even know what that is. I know I was subscribed to some magazines, and this might have been like a bonus for subscribing to the magazine, but anyway. So there was, sorry, this was a diaper holder, like you put all the diapers in there, and this band is kind of messed up. would need to iron it, of course, but it's just got the little mice on it. This was very well used for both of them. And this one, I'm not going to get rid of this one. It has been washed so many times that the stitching's actually faded or fallen out. Yeah, this was much loved quilt that one of the kids used and continued to use that even when they were beyond being a baby anymore, which is fine. So these ones are, this is so silly that these were never even used. I think I hung different things up in the nursery and kind of decorated the nursery with, I believe this one was hanging on the wall. So this one was, sorry, now I'm disappearing. This was a Jan Lynn kit. These ones are the ones that are stamped with the blue X's. I'll see if I can show you a bit more of that. And then you just use a sharp needle and place the X's. Place the stitches where the X's are. Took a little bit of learning how to do that and get everything really even and neat. And then there was baby bibs that went with that too, and these were not ever used. Isn't that terrible? They're so cute. So I'm not 100% sure what I'm gonna do with this stuff yet. Some of it, I'll show you, is gonna go for donation. These ones that were never used, I'm kind of wanting to hang on to a little longer. So this was, this is the one that I pulled out. I was like, I remember when I stitched that. Sitting on the couch. We lived in a little teeny tiny cabin, like 800 square feet on a lake. And yeah, there was no housework for me to do. It was teeny tiny and I wasn't supposed to be doing housework anyway, but I spent a lot of time sitting on the couch, cross stitching. Yeah, that is so adorable, that little skunk with the basket of hearts. And then there's a heart border that goes all the way around. This one, wasn't my favorite, but like little country bunnies. Calico cat. Yeah. I remember making that one too. And this one, I really enjoyed making this one. I love the colors. So this is another, oh, and I forgot to tell you, so a lot of these are finished. They're fringed. And then I had a friend who sewed, and so she sewed all the flannel for me onto the backs of these so that they were like more durable and more cozy warm. So here, I'll quit flipping this around and show you. So it has a border all the way around it. I really like this green with these hearts, this border. There's pigs, and then it turns the other way like that. Yeah, this was a really nice, I really enjoyed that stitching of that one. So there was some more that were never used. And when I gave these to people as gifts, my intention was that they would use them, and most people didn't. They just kept them as keepsakes. So I guess I did the same thing. But eventually there has to come a point where these have got to go somewhere. So that was a little Mother Goose one, and the Humpty Dumpty. And then these ones were all very well used. They're quite faded. I'm not going to go through them all, but yeah, this one matched that other quilt in the diaper bag. But these ones were very well used and washed so much that the colors actually really faded on them and that. So I think I'm just going to put these for donation. That was my son's suggestion. I was like, I don't know what to do with all this, and he said just donate them. So that's going to go in a separate pile because those ones are all well used. And there is another little pile. I liked this style, especially when they were teething. It would just slip over their head. Than the ones with the ties on them. So this was my favorite. This one's really well worn too. So this one says, when babe is feeling a little blue, a teether will help those teethies come through. And I made so many of these, I can't even remember how many I made. And I would buy the little, they have the little teething rings that look like that, like the little elephants and that. And then I would put a ribbon up here and then pin the soother or the teething ring onto the tops of these. So that was my favorite one. There's very well used and faded. These ones too, just bibs galore. Oh, I'm keeping this one for sure too. I'm a Bundle of Christmas Joy. I remember stitching that one. I remember some clowns. That one's pretty faded too. There was a Happy Birthday. First birthday, both of them wore that for their birthdays. Oh, this one's really faded too. This was cute. That one's just with the little teddy bears. And one more. This little elephants. This was all one set. No, this one doesn't go with that set, but this little elephants with the hearts coming out of their trunks. So cute. And then this was all, sorry, excuse me. This was all one whole set that I did. Oh my goodness, there's more. Okay, so these were genuine. I remember these were genuine. So there's this little one. And there's a little ducky. This was just something that, it was a doorknob decoration. Quiet please, baby's asleep. This was the switch plate in the nursery, just with the little bears on it. And it had a plastic cover that went over it. And then there's a bottle warmer with a little sheep on it. And these very lovely bibs that were never used. So there's one with the bunnies. I think I showed you this one already. That's when I did talking about the stamped cross stitch. This one I used to make for gifts for people too. And then this one, Hungry as a Bear. So and these were all done with the flannel on the back too. And some of them have the eyelet lace around them. And there was the quilt. Whoopsie, I did drop something. And this one looks like some of the color has faded on it. So I'm wondering if, I think I did use this one in the crib. I'm remembering this hanging over top, like on the wall above the crib. So this was the Jan Lynn again. So this kind of some of the things that were in the bibs that I just showed you, and the bottle warmer. So this was just all little baby. Oops. There's the horse and the bear. Sorry, I'm trying to roll. Yeah, and then it just says Dreamland on it. And then the bottom of it has the little rattles. Yeah, this was I think my favorite. I think that's why I hung that one on the wall. But it must have been washed at least a couple of times because the colors do look a little faded on that. And the last of the Afghans. So there was a matching Afghan that went with that. And I have one without the other. Yeah, same thing. Dreamland, just a little bit different variation to the style of that one. Okay, then I have a couple more samples. Oh, I dropped this guy. This one matched the little bib. That's with the little elephants, the hearts. Okay, and then I have an ABC 1, 2, 3 framed metal frame again, just for the sake of expense, for something that's not going to be, you know, hung up forever. And this was one of my kids' rooms. I remember stitching that one too, because I remember being in the hospital on bed rest and stitching that one. And my doctor said, I was kind of mad that I had to stay in the hospital. My doctor said, well, your knitting is nice. Like, it's not knitting. It's frustrated with him because he made me go on bed rest, but it's for the sake of the kids. So. And then this one, a little burst sampler again, just covered up. I covered up their names and birth dates. I think there's one more. And that was matches the Dreamland again. Like I said, I had to do the whole set. Yeah, so that was a burst sampler too. All right, that is the end of the fully finished objects. So you've seen all the stuff I currently have up, my new stuff I'm going to be putting up, and back into the past with the babies. Okay, so I'm gonna do the 250 subscriber giveaway announcement. I told you this is the Mirabilia. There's a correction card in the back here, so I want to make sure that doesn't fall out. Hi, Lucy. And it's Spring Topiary Garden by Nora Corbett. So for this one, don't say giveaway in your comments. If you want to be put in the draw for this one, just tell me what is your favorite color. If you want to let me know where you are in the world, so I can put a pin in my map for you, do that also. But for the draws, this one it will be what is your favorite color. And anybody who comments back on that will get their name put in for the draw for this and the other little goodies that I do. Yeah, I think that's all. That actually went quicker than I thought it was going to. Let me just look at my notes again. Yeah, I guess that's all. So thanks for joining me again, and thank you all for your likes and comments and subscribes. And I'm watching people's videos and I'm trying to get better at commenting, and I'm going to try and get caught up on as many people as I can. And I'll see you next Sunday for another video, unless I have to make that special announcement during the week. See if I get my fabric in or not. So have a good week. Bye.